In this video, I'm going to go over the syllabus for Math 1314. This is a summer online course. My name is Scott Smith. I also go by 1T. Notice there's only 1T in my name. That's where the nickname came from. So you can call me 1T or you call me Mr. Smith. If you want to call me Scott, that's fine too. When you're trying to get a hold of me, I would suggest that you use my email, or you can call this phone number or text me. I know sometimes I don't like texting or emailing because I need to be able to communicate more and go back and forth, and I don't want to do several emails or texts to do that, so I like to call. So you're welcome to call. And let's see, as far as office, we are off campus because of the virus. If you need any help, you can make appointments by just emailing me, and we can set up a time where we can meet on Blackboard, and I can get on a whiteboard there and help you out. Or I can also, a lot of times I'll just make a solution and I'll send that back, or I'll make a video. And when I make videos for students, I'll make those available to all students. All right, and let's see. Again, this is an internet course, and I need to talk about this certification date. July 9th is the first Thursday of the first week. So basically, at that point, we're telling the college whether students are participating or not in their courses. Well, since I'm not seeing you, the way that I'm going to do that is I need you to complete, well, first of all, you just need to sign up for my math lab, because that's where you're going to do your assignments. And you're going to need to do homework 1.1 and 1.2. Now, there's also an orientation in there for my math lab, but that's optional. We'll talk more about that later. But these are the things that have to be done by Wednesday, July 8th, in order to be certified. So in other words, we need to get started right away. If you have any problems that are stopping you from getting started right away, you should contact me immediately. And then finally, if for some reason you have to withdraw during the session, you got to do it by this date. All right, so let's move on to the next page. This is the textbook that we'll be using. Notice it's the textbook and it comes with my math lab. Now, for students that are going to buy their materials through the bookstore, you're going to have that option, or you'll have the option to just buy my math lab or a code for my math lab. And so the first day or two of class, you should be getting online and ordering that. In the meantime, you can get temporary access and sign up for my math lab right away. You'll have a 14-day free trial. We'll get into that more later. Just note here that you're not obligated to buy the textbook from us. You can get it elsewhere. You just want to make sure that you do get a brand new My Math Lab kit or access code with whatever you buy. You will need a TI-84. 83s are okay, not quite as good, but they will work. Notice these other calculators are not allowed. If for any reason you have any questions about the calculator, just contact me. All right, let's move on to the next slide. So this is an online course, so you do need to have a computer with internet access, and ideally you should have a personal computer because you're going to spend a lot of time doing assignments. And again, you'll be doing that on my math lab. And notice it's an online textbook-based software where you will complete your assignments. When you first sign up, you may have to put in or install some plugins. I'll be doing a video on my math lab, and I'll go through all the little details. You're going to need a course ID, which I give you in eCampus on the announcement that I made there. And again, I want to point out that you can get temporary access for my math lab for 14 days. But you got to get it paid for within 2 weeks, or your work just disappears. I can't even see it. And again, most people that aren't using financial aid to buy their materials will use a credit card and go directly to the MyMathLab website and sign up. And you can get either a 10 or 18-week subscription. I believe it's around $70, give or take. I think it's a little more than that. All right, as far as graded work is concerned, you can see that homework is 10% of your grade. Quizzes are 10%, tests are 60%. 4 tests, so basically 15% each. And then your final exam is 20%. As far as the grading scale, 90 to 100 is A, and so on. It's the typical grading scale. Let's look at the description of graded work. Really, for homework, the only thing I would say is you have the ability to get 100 every single time if you're willing to put in the time. Normally, you get 3 tries at a problem. If you miss it, you click on the similar question button. It gives you a new problem, and if you do that one correctly, then you'll get the problem marked correctly. Anything that's marked wrong, you'll see a red X. Green arrows are good. That means you got it right. The quizzes are like practice for the test. If you do 3 sections of homework and then you take the quiz and you bomb, that's telling you you need to work on that material. The quizzes don't have any help buttons in them, whereas the homework has several help buttons, including videos and simulations and help me solve this and that kind of stuff. And then finally, you do have a test, 4 tests, and again, that's 15% of your grade. The final is a comprehensive 25 question multiple choice test. And then again, I want to mention this because this is a priority here. Attendance participation. Again, I'm not going to be meeting with you, so the way that you get certified is by signing up for MyMathLab. And then there's a MyMathLab orientation. That's optional. If you're pretty savvy with technology, you'll probably be fine. If you have problems when you're trying to put your answers in for homework or later when you do graphs, then you may want to go back and look at that. But the key is 1.1 and 1.2 homework have to be done by Wednesday, July 8th. And your average score needs to be 70%. Now, 70% is shooting pretty low. You should be shooting for 100%. Again, there's no excuse for not getting started right away and getting your homework done because you do have that 14-day free trial. All right, late work. Well, really, the way things are going to work, homework and quizzes have to be done on Sunday normally, and by 11:59 p.m., or whatever's on the course calendar. Like the last week's a little bit different. After that, there's really no point. Well, I should say, once you take the test, there's really no point for me allowing you to go back and do homework. Basically, the homework was there to prepare you for the test. So make sure you do your homework and give yourself time to study for the test. And then you take your test and we're done with that. And we're moving on. So be careful. In a 5-week summer course, especially a course like college algebra, there's no time to procrastinate. So if you tend to be a procrastinator, you're going to really have to step up your game and challenge yourself to do what it's going to take to be successful. But really, sticking to the calendar, getting your homework and quizzes done, taking your tests, making sure you give yourself enough time to prepare for the test. These are the kinds of things you're going to have to be doing in order to be successful. Tutoring and things like that, we'll talk more about that later. All right, communicating with your instructor, very important. I'm not going to see you, and so the only way I'm going to know if you have any needs or if you have questions is if you're communicating with me. So, and also whenever I send out emails and other announcements, we want to make sure you're getting those. So each week there'll be 2 announcements in eCampus or Blackboard. Basically on Mondays, I'm going to review the schedule for the week and I'm going to include any important information. So the first week of classes, I'm going to give you a lot of stuff, things about tutoring, all sorts of things. But normally it's just going to be mainly Mondays and Thursdays you're going to get those announcements in eCampus. Now when I announce those things, you should get an email. So you want to make sure your address in eConnect is correct. And also in my math lab, you should be using your school ID or your school email address. And so that way you're getting, and you also want to be checking that. That way you're getting everything as far as communications that I send out. Because basically everything that I send out will be through one of those two systems. So again, if you need to get a hold of me, you can email me, you can text me, you can call me. Basically, normally we're supposed to get back to students within 24 hours during the work week. Thursday from 5 p.m. through Sunday. We guarantee that we'll get back to you by Monday morning the following week. Normally, I'm going to get back to you within an hour, sometimes within a few seconds or minutes. So I'm usually pretty good about that, but that's kind of our guarantees. And on the weekend, I may or may not answer my phone, but you're welcome to try. And normally, unless I'm in the middle of something or something's going on, I will call you or will answer the call. All right, institutional policy. So there's other things that you won't see in the syllabus. So again, the idea is you're reading through the syllabus, making sure you understand everything that's there, asking questions if you have any questions. And if you don't see certain things, that's probably because they're institutional policies, things like disability service, Title IX, all sorts of other details you can find by clicking on this link here when you go to the document in eCampus, to the syllabus. All right, finally, we have the course schedule. So notice it says it's very important that you follow the course schedule closely and complete all assignments by the due dates. The deadlines are also indicated in my math lab. I would recommend that you print these two pages out. You notice you have this one and this one here. And I don't know, put it on your refrigerator or whatever you got to do. But make sure, or wherever you do your homework, make sure that you have that you're following these dates. Again, I'll also review those when I make my announcements in eCampus each week. And if there's any changes, certainly I'll let you know. And I'll change the syllabus basically. But I expect our schedule to be pretty much what you're seeing here. I don't expect any changes. Basically, again, most weeks you're going to have all your homework done by Sunday. You're going to take your test no later than Monday. If you want to get ahead, I mean, you can get ahead as far as, you could take your test as early as Thursday if you wanted, and you could have the whole weekend off. But you won't start working on the other assignments. Normally, I don't open up the assignments until sometime during the weekend or by Monday at the latest. All right, so I think that's all I have to say. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Just drop me an email or whatever, and I'm here to help you in any way I can.